Alright, what the fuck is up, YouTube? So, fist fight on the freeway? What? Yeah, in a car. Yeah. I'm gonna put the thumbnail as the back seat of a car. So, when I'm describing this, it all took place in the back seat of a car. So, I might be pointing to the right or to the left because it was between. I don't want to give too much away. But, real quick, as always, I got to give a shout out to anybody who's new coming and seeing my stuff for the first time. I have a bunch of videos like this. I have shorts. I have tons of stuff, tons more stuff to come. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you do, I ain't mad at you. So it's all good. And for the people returning, man, like, you guys really mean more to me than you even know, honestly. I'm not gonna get all sentimental about it right now, but like, for real, like, you would think like a small number or whatever, but like, just one more person, waking up to having one person or two people or something, like, it fucking feels cool. Like, I like it, you know. Don't need no money, nothing like that, whatever. So, and finally, a final shout out to my ex fellow juvenile delinquents that most of us did not make it and are not here right now. But the ones that did were here, and we got to celebrate every day we're up here, and especially for the ones that aren't. All right. So, anyways, I'm going to get out of that and get into the story. So, here's the deal. This day was a day that we, and when I say we, this is another story that involves Boy. If you've been listening to my videos, he's in quite a bit of them, probably because he was the one with the car. So that's what a lot of things include, okay? So this was Boy driving, me in the shotgun seat. In the very back seat on the right hand side was my homie Max. In the middle was the homie Darian, who was a mutual homie of me and Boy, and somebody that I had known through different people and stuff, like the rave kind of scene, whatever. And then on his left was this guy, Jacob, okay? And he was someone that I had briefly met at North High while I was there for like 3 months before I ended up getting shipped to another school. So that's the car, okay? It's us five in the car, and we're on the way to Lenox, okay? Lenox is, I'm still like, I've lived in the South Bay my entire life, and I couldn't really direct you to Lenox. I know it's somewhere near Hawthorne or like Lawndale or something like that, whatever. So we're going to the homie Sean's house, okay? Rest in peace to Sean. He passed away during the pandemic. It's pretty sad, but you know, all we can do is move forward. So we were on the way back to his house, and two things that I can tell you about Sean that I remember that like were, I mean, one thing is whatever, but one thing is pretty funny. So he had his own apartment in Lenox, which Lenox is like, it's not exactly like Torrance. It's not very like a nice of an area, like, honestly, especially where his, like, what his apartment complex was. Like, there would be like dudes lifting weights, like they're in the weight pile in prison and shit, like big dudes, like I swear to God. And they would be like downstairs and we'd have to go upstairs, whatever. So he had his own little spot. Like, he had his own spot. He didn't have to pay rent, didn't have to do anything. He just like had his little spot. And I remember that because we went there one time when we came up on a bunch of can of butter, and we wanted to make that like macaroni that looked like SpongeBob. That was like a long ass time ago. But we didn't realize that the butter didn't have any salt in it, so it came out tasting like fucking shit. And you know, you live and you learn, whatever. So anyways, we're on the way to his pad, okay? Now, I had been there. I knew him. I met him, I think I met him also when I was at North, but I knew him through someone else. Like, I had known him actually for a bit, okay? And Obviously Max, that's my fucking boy. Known him since the 6th grade. One of the longest people I've actually known. And Jacob, I did not know as well. He was more of Boy's and Darian's homie. Oh yeah, and Darian was like the homie, like, like he was like somebody that like I had gone to his pad, whatever. Like we both DJ'd and like had that kind of thing. He would used to produce music and stuff, whatever. Hope he's doing good, man. Shout out to D. Um, Anyways, so we're on the way to Sean's house, and we're on the freeway, and we're driving there, and I'll just like I can't forget this. Like I just couldn't forget this shit if I tried. So, um, like we're getting close, and when we're still on the freeway, but we're getting closer and closer to the exit we have to get off. And as we're getting closer, Boy takes the radio, turns it all the way down, and he's specifically talking to Max, who is sitting directly behind him. Okay, directly behind him in the driver's seat. Boy's driving, Max behind him. So he says, "All right, before we get there, I'm gonna tell you two things." And he said, "Number one, don't steal anything. And number two, don't fight anybody, or don't get fucked up by anybody." And Max, like, like, he's no bitch. Like, even especially back then, like, he's no bitch. Like, so he kind of like took offense to that, like, which, like, granted, it makes sense, especially him and Boyd did not have the best, relationship as it was. So Max, he's sitting behind, and I'll never forget this. Never forget this. I turned around, and he goes, "Number one, I ain't about to steal anything. And number two, nobody's gonna beat my ass." And like within a matter of maybe 15 seconds, 10 seconds, the person that was not sitting next to Max, but sitting on the other side of him, for some reason, I don't know why, he took it as like a challenge in the car, on the freeway, in like the fast track, like in like the fast lane, just like everywhere. So like all of a sudden, like he's like, "Oh yeah," and like Max is like, "Yeah, like nobody's gonna fuck me up. Like what? I'm not gonna steal nothing." And then he goes, he's like, so you're saying that I couldn't fuck you up? Like he like took it. I don't understand what went through his brain, but he like took offense to it, and all of a sudden I turn back around and I'm just seeing fucking blows left and right, left and right, and I felt bad for Darian because he's sitting bitch in the middle, and he's sitting there and he's getting clipped left and right by different people that are trying to reach over him to like fight. Like they literally started fighting in the back seat with Darian in between them, and they were still like trying to throw arms behind his head, trying to like use the other arm to go in front of his head. Like he might have taken more punches than anybody, honestly. Like I was sitting in the front, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I was like just watching. It's like watching, just like, well, this is new. You know what I'm saying? So finally, like, it's like the whole time we're like, "Yo, chill, chill. We're on the freeway. Chill, chill." And of course, they did not chill. Kept going, kept going. And then we just had to like try to get there as quickly as we could. And we get there and we pull up, and these fools like literally they almost roll, like they almost do like a somersault out of the car, and they're on the all of a sudden, instead of being in the back of the car, they're on the front lawn of Sean's apartment complex, and they square up and they just start getting down. Max fucks him up like I knew he would, like, and it didn't last super long. And of course, like the guys that live like down there, they don't want no heat, and they're kind of like, "Yo, it's done, it's done, it's done," once Max was really like giving it to him and shit. I I remember both of them had like bloody noses, and like they're like, we're inside Sean's house and they're trying to like clean up and stuff. But like Max definitely got the better of that fool. Like, and I knew that's what was gonna happen. Like and I also knew that the fight was not gonna just be over in the car, and it would have just gone back to cranking up the stereo and listening to Biggie Smalls or something. You know, like that moment was gone. So like they spill out, and then they're just all of a sudden there's just like a mob, not a mob, but there's a good amount of people there. There's like big jack dudes that look like Terry Crews that are there, that are just like no shirt on, just fucking tatted up everywhere, and they're just like, yo, it's done, it's done, it's done. I don't know what they had going on there, but I can imagine that, like, you know, that's gonna even, I mean, it's Lennox. Like, it's one of those places where, like, if a gunshot goes off, I'm pretty sure they're like, do we have to go? Like, it's not a place that people are just trying to, you know, it's just not a great rated place, in my opinion. Hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm completely wrong. I don't know. So, anyways, once we got inside Sean's house, things calmed down and whatever, and I'm pretty sure they shook hands, and like it's not like that like made the beef done or anything, but it just meant like we were just like, yo, just like don't fight anymore. Like, you don't have to be buddy buddy and talk and text and AIM each other and stuff, but like shout out to anybody who remembers AIM, by the way. That was the shit. But like we're just like, yo, just like, you know, stay in different parts of the room, whatever, but like, you know, like you guys kind of already got it out of your system. Just like, how much more do you need to fight? So we ended up leaving right there. And I forgot to tell you, the one other thing about Sean that I remember that's pretty comical is that he actually was in the county jail, and he smuggled his jail thing out. Like he smuggled his jail clothes, like his little fucking jumpsuit. He smuggled that, and like, or it wasn't a jumpsuit. It was like a, like kind of like a shirt, and then like the like pants that are kind of like sweats. And I just remember him going on Facebook. I was friends with him on Facebook, and I remember him posting a picture of himself with, like, he had the bag with the clear stuff that has all your stuff in it in his mouth, and then he was holding like his pair of pants and his shirt that said like CDC or whatever it said. I can't remember exactly, but like I just remember thinking that that was like a funny flex, like, and I even talked to him about it, of just like that. I just told him like, yo, that shit was funny, bro. Like, who does that? Like, who the fuck does that? Who wants a memento from jail? You know what I'm saying? Like, most people don't. I'm sure, I know I didn't look back. I was only looking forward, and I was running when I got released. You know what I'm saying? I was not like looking back, waving and bye bye bye. No, hell no. I was fucking running, jumping, frolicking. Like I had my freedom. You know what I'm saying? The air was feeling great, just the normal air. So, anyways, that's the story of the fight, the fist fight on the freeway in the back of and you want to know what kind of car it was? It was a Honda Civic that was like a 1998 or something like that. Like, this was not a spacious car at all. It was very, very, very small. Okay, so there was not a lot of room in there. So even the amount of stuff that happened out in there is pretty surprising, but that's really the like detailed version of what happened. I was gonna make it short, but I like doing that, but I feel like I miss out on so many details that like are funny, or they mean something or whatever. So like, this was definitely one that I wanted to tell like the full story of, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, hey, it's early. I never really upload videos this early. So maybe I'll throw another one up here by the end of the day. I already did a short if you want to go check that out. But anyways, if you could subscribe, throw me a subscription or something, man. It's just a click of a button, dude. Doesn't cost nothing, and all you're gonna do is get good stories like this where you're just like, what? And like, I'm thinking about even starting to show my text messages with some names blocked off, where you can see there's things that I miss in my videos of details that are like even more gnarly than the things I talk about in my videos of just people who were there and shit. So I'm just saying all that to say, thank you for coming to my channel. Thank you for listening to my stories. And I appreciate every single one of you, new or old. Like, I appreciate all you guys. And thank you. Just thank you. I want to just show my gratitude always. And people need to know when they're appreciated. Appreciate every single one of you guys. And I hope you guys have a nice weekend. All right? Peace out.